Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina was leading the Republican effort on their Justice Act. But you, along with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, you signed a letter to the majority leader saying that the Justice Act was, quote, it is not salvageable. Why? What was wrong with the legislation proposed by Senator Scott? And why wasn't it possible for all of you to get in a room and negotiate a deal, since there is public sentiment behind doing something to reform the?
So it's important to recall the chronology of this, and which is that Senator Booker and I proposed on the Senate side, along with our colleagues in the Congressional Black Caucus on the House side, and then it was joined by Senate Democrats and House Democrats and Republicans on the House side, a bill. But we came up with a bill called the Justice and Policing Act, which would deal with a number of specific issues that relate to the need for accountability and consequence when law enforcement officers break the rules or break the law. 9 days later, the Republicans submit this bill that essentially dealt with nothing in any substantive way that we dealt with in our bill. In our bill, for example, we banned chokeholds and carotid holds. Were that ban in place, George Floyd would be alive today. We banned no-knock warrants in drug cases. Were that in effect, Breonna Taylor would be alive today. We require that there would be a national standard for use of force, so that when an officer uses excessive force, the question would not be, was that use of force reasonable? Because we know you can reason away anything. The question instead would be, was that use of force necessary? We deal with a number of very specific issues. We say that there should be pattern and practice investigations by the United States Department of Justice, and they should be equipped with subpoena power, so that when you have law enforcement agencies that don't want to cooperate, they have the tool to do the investigation. The Republican bill, by contrast, did not ban chokeholds and carotid holds, did not ban no-knock warrants in drug cases, is not speaking to pattern and practice investigations, is not speaking, as we have, to independent investigations and the need for those, and instead talks about a bunch of studies and bringing people together to have conversations. Look, we've been having these conversations for decades now. This is a time to act, and that's why people by the hundreds of thousands in our country have taken to the streets. People who seemingly have nothing in common, who have been marching together, knowing that we cannot have two systems of justice in America, and we need to reform this system in tangible ways, not just giving it lip service, but actually putting some teeth into this.